Hi, I'm Dianne Welsh, and I'm the Hayes Distinguished Chair in Entrepreneurship at the University of North Carolina, Greensboro, and also the founding director of the entrepreneurship programs there. We have 57 courses in 49 departments, blended with entrepreneurship across campus. I also founded 2 other entrepreneurship programs in the U.S. I was the Fulbright Hayes Distinguished Chair for Entrepreneurship for Central Europe in 2015. I've given probably about 20 keynote addresses around the world on entrepreneurship, particularly women entrepreneurs. And I've written a book about cross-disciplinary entrepreneurship published by Palgrave Macmillan called Creative Cross-Disciplinary Entrepreneurship, a practicable approach for cross-campus programs. I'm going to talk to you today about the entrepreneur personality. And the entrepreneur personality is going to vary differently in all entrepreneurs because we're all human and we're all different. But what we know is that people can learn entrepreneurship. And so this born, or are you born an entrepreneur, sort of like a king and queen, or are they made kind of through the process of osmosis? And what we know is from psychology is that the environment that you grow up in has a whole lot to do with it. From studies, we also know that probably 30% has some cognitive elements that you're born with. So it is all that learning that takes place on top of that. And so we can give you the skill sets to be an entrepreneur and to develop those in you. I'm a firm believer that everyone can be an entrepreneur because we all have the ability to be creative, innovative, and entrepreneurial in anything we do, in any discipline we choose, in any job we choose, and in any industry. So that's really the focus of how do you become an entrepreneur and how do you have this entrepreneurial personality that's so unique. And as we know, each one of us is unique. So nobody is going to be the same. And that's why there's not one clear direction. So let's talk a little about really the core of what I believe the entrepreneur personality is. And that is something called psychological capital. And that was really founded by Fred Luthans at University of Nebraska, Lincoln. He's in the top 1% of all people in the history of time cited in the Social Sciences Index. I was very honored and lucky to be his doctoral student and graduate under his direction. And he has published numerous articles. So you can see Luthans and Youssef, 2004, Luthans, Youssef, Avolio, 2007, and then there's publications all the time being published with his information. So psychological capital can be defined as an individual's positive psychological state of development that is characterized by having confidence, which we call self-efficacy, to take the challenging tasks, making a positive attribution, which I can do this, I have optimism about succeeding now and in the future. And by redirecting paths to our goals through hope to succeed, and when we're beset by problems, we bounce back, and that's that resilience factor to attain success. PsyCap now is recognized, developed, and leveraged in entrepreneurs around the world. So what we can call that is the hero within us. And all of us have the hero within us. We just have to develop it. And the hero is hope, which is goals and pathways. Number 2, efficacy or confidence. 3, resilience, bouncing back from adversity. Optimism, making positive attributions, having positive future expectations. And that is termed hero, the hero within us. Hope, efficacy, resilience, and optimism. Efficacy is that confidence that I can do this, I can get that job done. We can develop the hero within us, and that has been proven in studies, online studies, where we can develop through training, online training, or face-to-face, we can develop that hero within us. What's important here is it goes beyond the entrepreneurial mindset to the entrepreneurial skill set. So we have to develop that skill set in us. So the programs I've developed develops that hero within us, as well as trying it out. So it's idea, opportunity, and action we have to take. So that's that trying things outside, which is very, very important in entrepreneurship education. I am a believer that, and as we know, that entrepreneurs are throughout the world. Most of them don't come from business schools, by the way. They come from every discipline. And actually, the entrepreneurs that come out of business schools in the education sphere are actually the minority of people that create businesses. That's why all my programs blend entrepreneurship with the discipline specific. So in the arts, in the sciences, interior architecture, in music. So we develop that hero within inside the discipline by blending entrepreneurship in the classes. So we take the discipline, we put the entrepreneurship that applies to the discipline with specific learning objectives, and voila, we've got classes that really teach how to be successful, how to be an entrepreneur in your chosen discipline. And this has a huge economic impact around the world. And what we haven't done is done this throughout the world, and especially with women that want to become entrepreneurs, maybe in more traditional disciplines such as teaching. So we do this throughout the university. So this is a very important component, because you have to have a lot of stamina to be an entrepreneur. You really have to believe in yourself. But how you believe in yourself is building that hero in us, which is very important to the overall success of entrepreneurship and economic development around the world. That's why it is so important that we include that in disciplines throughout the university, in the disciplines in high schools, and even in lower grades, in K through 8th grade and beyond. So throughout the whole education opportunity system. So we all have the ability to succeed and to make a contribution. So what's really important to understand about this is that this has been done in industries around the world. It's valid and it's reliable. So we have a measurement tool for PsychUp that's a short form, is only 12 questions. I've used this in many consulting jobs, in my studies, as well as formed a entrepreneurial propensity survey that I'm validating and getting. I've done that around the world with about 6,000 students. So I'm working on another to really propensity to be an entrepreneur, because that's really what we're trying to measure. So the big problem we have is we have all these wonderful things going on, classes around the world, workshops, MOOCs, and hackathons and everything, but we haven't really measured to see if it's effective. And so are we building the propensity to be an entrepreneur through these different components, through this education process? So I'm wanting to propose that we do that. That's very, very important through PsychUp as well as entrepreneur propensity, and that we need to start measuring the before and after. And with entrepreneurs, that might be 5 years, 10 years down the road. It's not necessarily right after they get out of the class. Thank you.